Nothing will make you money like appealing to power. When you watch podcasters, when you watch people glaze Elon, their primary goal is getting as close to the center of power as possible. To use words like collapsing society to describe Germany or the UK is so hyperbolic. Doge is operated by 21-year-olds. Doge Goon Squad, Doge Gooner Squad. Look at this fucking guy. A 21-year-old finds it and goes, oh, this is some sort of gender reassignment initiative in Mozambique. Let's cut it. And they cut it because they have no oversight or context of anything. Here we go. Is that the full thing? I think this is the full thing here.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Doge update. Please.
Fuck! It's immediately embarrassing. It's immediately like cringe-inducing. It's the kind of shit like if I saw it on TikTok with no context or Instagram Reels, I'd like. It's like lol cow. It's like hate porn for me watching this shit. Jesus Christ! It's time for the Doge update.
Welcome, New Max host Rob Schmidt.
Dad's loving all of it, Bobby Two Crows. That's so sad, man.
Hey. Man, that is a big crowd. And they are not here for me. How you guys doing?
Zin.
Nice vibe this year, right? After the best month we've ever had. Nice to see you all. Thanks for coming out. Good to see you. I'm not gonna...
Is this the host of Newsmax?
Kill any more time. Let's bring out Elon Musk.
Oh, geez, they're right into it. Oh. This is so hard to get through, man. How are we? We're not even a fucking minute in. He's already fucked up. He's already pulling some fucking X shit. Oh my god. And the Ford commercial music, dude. Dude, this is like I have this is like you know, like Imagine Dragons, right? It's like music that makes your cousin want to join the military. There's three types of chud music, okay? There's three categories of chud music. There's coworker music. That's like, you know, the guy in the dish pit is playing the fucking like Yo Ho song from Pirates of the Caribbean out loud, like the TikTok version. That's what he's playing. There's cop funeral music. That's like the Disturbed cover of Sound of Silence. And then there's music that makes your cousin want to join the military, and that's like Imagine Dragons. And then this is like Ford F-150 commercial. But there's all these like categories of stock music. I could expand this. I could make a compass here. What does this shirt say? I'm sorry procrastinating, I was on a side quest? Oh my god, fuck!
We're gonna stay up for 1 second. Hey guys. We've got one more surprise in case this wasn't enough. I'm gonna let Elon do it. Who else is here?
Well, President Milei has a gift for me.
Javier Milei from Argentina. You guys know who that is, right?
Fuck! The guy who just rug pulled? The guy who just made a fucking coin and rug pulled?
Why don't we bring him out?
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself. It's over for me, man. Hawk 2 walked so Javier Milei could run. Yeah.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw! That's perfect. All right.
Derek
I love
invented
it.
Captain and
Mr. President, thank you so much.
J-Reg walked so
Thank you,
Hawk
sir.
2 could run.
I love it. We love it. We love it.
All right. right.
They told me to.
I gotta hear that little scream he does again. Fuck.
Here.
Where is it?
This the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw.
Where is it? Oh my god. I'm done. I'm cooked.
Sir, nice to meet you. I love it. We love it. We love it.
All right.
This has to be like AI generated music. Jesus Christ, man.
They told me to put this right.
Where should we put it?
They want it right here.
All right, great.
A little stage prop.
All of you guys too. Thanks, guys.
Have a seat.
Nothing.
Grandma dies so Elon can fly.
Jesus Christ, man. Nothing will make you richer than appealing to power. Never forget that. When you see somebody appealing to power, in this case, it's undeniable that conservatives, of course, control politics. They also control culture, and they control pop culture currently. Nothing will make you money like appealing to power. There's nothing more in your financial interest than appealing to power. When you watch podcasters, when you watch people glaze Elon, their primary goal is getting as close to the center of power as possible. That is, never, ever, ever think otherwise. How does Elon Musk, like, the only way this guy could have fucking stands left is people who just want money and power. There's no other reason to like him.
So,
That was something.
I am become meme. Yeah, pretty much. I'm living the meme. It's like there's living the dream and there's living the meme, and it's pretty much what's happening, you know.
You're like, I think you're bigger.
I mean, Doge started out as a meme. Think about it. And now it's real. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
But it's cool.
Let me ask you this.
But
A year
it's
ago,
cool.
if someone had told you you'd be at CPAC and working with the president to absolutely shred the government, the swamp, whatever you want to call
Right.
it, would you have ever believed that?
No.
No. Me neither.
But it's cool. This is awesome. And I just want to say, you know, thanks for your support. I mean,
What is on his? What is
you
on?
guys are, you know.
What is on his neck? Like, what is the chain that he's wearing? He has the dark gothic mega hat. He has fucking pit vipers. He's got a slim fit, like, jet black blazer.
So, I mean, we're trying to get good things done, but also, like, you know, have a good time doing it, and you know, and have like a sense of humor, you know. So, like, I mean, the sort of the left wanted to make comedy illegal, you know. You can't make fun of anything. So there's like, comedy sucks. It's like, nothing's funny. You can't make fun of anything. It's like, legalize comedy.
Oh!
Legalize comedy.
And we've shifted the entire culture in just the last few.
As a hopeless American, we are closer to freedom than ever before. Do not disregard what is happening right now.
I don't believe so for a minute. Thank you for the 20. But, I don't believe so, man. I truly think that there's part of me that wants to be wrong. I'm not as fact-based as some of the other, you know, anti-Republican people or anti-Trump people. But, man, this has every single characteristic of a power grab in a way that I don't think the government is going to recover from. It has the vibe of freedom. It has the vibe of being in America's best interest. I don't see this ending well. I don't see America being in a better place in 8 years than they are right now. I see this going towards America completely coming off the world stage. America stops being a global hegemonic power. They stop dealing with Europe. They isolate themselves. They start manufacturing shit they don't need to manufacture from within. and it just, I don't know, man. It's not a positive future for me. It's not a positive future for me at all. If you want to, basically guarantee the birth of the Chinese century, man, this is the way to do it.
Few months, the whole culture of this country has shifted dramatically just because of that election.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Freedom of speech, having fun again. It seems like we should have a good time,
It's a great time. Everybody in this place is so excited, and when you talk to conservatives, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And everybody feels this great sense of relief because we were going to hell for about 4 years. It really felt bad.
Yeah.
Especially toward the end, it felt really bad.
Yeah, I thought we were sort of heading for a point of no return, really.
Yeah.
Until that's why it was so essential that President Trump win the election, and that there be a Republican majority in the House and Senate, which, thanks to you, that has been accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to ask you, one of the biggest questions I have for you is, you've been, politically, you weren't really on one side or the other for a long time.
As an American conservative, not Republican, guy, I have no clue how people can support the idiocy happening right now in governor.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. I've always pinned myself as sort of a, I don't know, like center, like I guess, like slightly socially conservative. I have reverence for institutions. I have reverence for the past and for tradition. Especially like 2016, this whole idea of like things that happened in the past were bad because people are stupid in the past. This sort of like mentality the left had really didn't align with. But it's like that fucking meme of like the spectrum, the political spectrum was left and right, and the guy standing in the center, and then the Overton window shifting farther and farther left to the guy standing in the center becomes right. You know that one, like Steven Crowder made it or something? I feel the exact opposite of like, just being a normal, like J.J. McCullough, social conservative, physically conservative, to see how far right and how wacky the right has gone. It does just leave, like, I can see this transfer of so many conservatives into liberal politics because this is just fucking lunacy on every level, and especially aesthetically. It's just fucking embarrassing to watch.
Time you're a businessman, a lot of people, they stay away from it. Now you're on a side, and you've chosen a side. You're sitting here in a MAGA hat. What's it? How did that happen? What was the moment?
It's like dark Gothic MAGA.
That's a good one.
This guy's gonna kill people, dude. There's a future. Elon Musk is gonna start fucking liquidating people. Elon Musk is gonna fucking do something really bad in the next 4 years, man. Totally believe it.
Was there a specific moment? Was there a moment that it all changed?
Yeah, when I realized I was a fool. But no, I was, I guess, yeah, I mean, I'd say like I was politically neutral for quite a while. Leaning a little Democrat.
How do you go from that to this?
Yeah,
How does that happen?
Well,
did they go crazy?
Yeah, they did go crazy.
Yeah, they went crazy.
No, I mean that whole cancel culture and it's trying to stop freedom of speech and infringe upon people's personal freedoms. They just want state control.
I agree. Like, I agree fundamentally with this. I am like a free speech absolutist. Cancel culture. I was anti-cancel culture. I'm still anti-cancel culture. These are all things I agree with, but they're fighting an egregore of the left that hasn't existed since like 2019 or 2020, right? Like they've built a tulpa. The conservatives have collectively built, and I know because I did this when I was like more conservative. I imagined this like ideal demonic figure of like a blue hair SJW that I hated, but I didn't really exist that tangibly, right? And like the right still operates on this logic, but we're like years past it at this point, right? We're years beyond cancel culture. No one likes cancel culture, and for all intents and purposes, it was a fucking blip, right?
Culture war is a conservative Trojan horse.
No, absolutely. I mean, listen to Sam Harris's newest podcast on Christian nationalism is really fascinating. And she talks about this, I forget the name of the guest he had, but she's saying like, everybody at CPAC talked about trans people in sports, right? And fair enough, cool. I'm not like aligned with the idea of like biological women competing in men's sports and biological men competing in women's sports, right? It doesn't work out. It's unfair. No one likes it though. Like no one fucking likes it. No one's into this. There's nobody out there, or that there is, but it's like very few people are championing this idea. Everyone's against it at a common sense level. And then she brings up the fact that the number one killer of youth in America is gun violence. That's the number one cause of death for youth in America is gun violence. There's no incentive to mention things that actually matter. There's no incentive to mention actual solutions. It's like, there's trans people in sports. We're going to fix that. And that seems to be like it matters aesthetically. Like people, that's like an idea that really upsets people. Same with like hormone therapy for children. Again, against that as well. These ideas really upset people, right? But it's just like dying on these hills over and over and over again and creating this illusion and simulation of progress and change when in actuality nothing's happening. The country and the U.S. and Canada by extension are still like just getting dramatically fucking worse.
State control of what you say. They want to, take away your guns. And the reason they want to take away your guns, so like there's nothing you do to oppose them. So it's sort of like, I just like we just need to restore
the athlete to
the fundamental
dictatorship
elements of
pipeline.
what made America great, which is freedom and opportunity.
Yeah. We're seeing a lot of these freedoms disappearing in the West. It's not just about America. We're all watching Europe and knowing that they're about 50, 100 years ahead of us, right? Because they got an early start. And we're watching how they're devolving. And you're trying to save it from happening here.
No, I mean, in Europe, they put people in prison for memes.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's insane.
And they're collapsing. I mean, this society it's a collapsing society. It feels that way.
It feels.
Says who? Says who? I don't understand. Again, like being on the outside of this, man, living in Canada, it's like the amount of Americans who seem to think that Canada is a collapsing society when you can walk around any neighborhood in Toronto at night by yourself with no fear. I've never once been mugged, robbed. There's like, those problems exist. I'm not going to say it's a perfect society. There's like a car theft epidemic in fucking Brampton outside of Toronto. There's a lot of issues, man. But it's like to use words like collapsing society to describe Germany or the UK is so hyperbolic. And also, I don't agree with this, but the UK doesn't have free speech laws. They never have. They're a monarchy. They have no free speech and they have no free speech laws. So it's fucking stupid. And from an American perspective, a pro free speech perspective, it's ridiculous that people get arrested for shit like that. But it's not the same. It's not an analogous issue. It's not an analogous issue at all. It sucks, but it's like you can't make the comparison between like American free speech and British free speech. They're not the same.
Feels like
France was nicer 50 years ago than it is today.
Yeah.
I don't think you can question that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, really. Thanks. I love you too. I mean, I really just wanted to do useful things, like basically build products, provide products and services that are good, and I wasn't really like that interested in being political. It just like there was at a certain point no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, can I ask you on the same side of that coin, what's it like from going neutral to being vilified, largely vilified by the media? Like you're.
What? No.
What media?
I mean,
fucking CNN with their 500,000 nightly viewers. I have fucking YouTube videos on my channel with more views than I'm an 88,000 sub YouTube channel. I have YouTube videos with more fucking views than CNN gets. I know YouTubers who regularly everything they post gets more views than CNN gets nightly. Is that an issue? Is the vilification of Elon Musk by mainstream media an actual fucking issue, or is it just like? If you're seeing people hate Elon on Twitter, is there a reason behind it, Of course there's an actual fucking reason behind it.
on some of these.
This is the guy who wanted to make a carbon neutral fleet of cars and get America off gasoline with Tesla, who's now completely 180 and is now part of the fucking oil and gas and coal regime of Donald Trump.
These channels, brother, I mean, they're angry at you. Does it bother you at all? Does it get to you?
I mean, when they're chanting for my death, I suppose that's a little.
Yeah.
You know?
Not good.
But then like the song's not even that good, and it's like you call that a death chant? That's nothing. Please.
They've been singing a lot
not
lately.
even good
Yeah.
music.
There's a lot of music lately. It's not good music either. Yeah.
Yes.
I would say that watching what you're doing with Doge is just people love it. I mean, I've always looked at the government, and I've always looked at the government, and I've seen this big machine and you just know that they waste because they don't care. Nobody can. There's more money coming. They don't care.
Yeah.
You're cutting all this out. Everybody in this country knows that the government is full of waste, fraud, and abuse, and you're doing the work, and the Americans love it. Watching their reaction politically to this, I can't believe how bad they are at responding to this. I don't know how you're going to sit there and scream and complain because they're cutting waste out of the government and try to win another election. How do you try to win on that?
Well, at this point, I'm not sure how much of the left is even real.
Yeah.
You know.
How much was propped up?
There we go. That's it. That's it. See that? He says the truth. It's not what he means. He's gonna explain farther. It's not what he means, but how much of the left is actually real? Exactly. Very, very small percentage of this idea of the evil, demonic, the left that wants your kids to fucking, have their genitals cut off. That left is insignificant.
By our money,
Yeah, like literally, you see like these sort of fake rallies where there's like hardly any people, and the media will like frame it and like get all 6 people in the frame, but there's like nobody else is there. Like just it doesn't have popular support, but then you learn that like there's hundreds of billions of dollars going to these so-called NGOs. And it's your tax dollars that are funding things that are fundamentally anti-American.
and they're propping up their narrative.
Yes.
A lot of that government money has been propping up a left that I don't think is as strong as they made it seem.
In fact, a massive amount of your tax dollars is going to legacy media companies.
Yes.
Directly from the government.
The government wants to take over media.
Yeah, it's
Left
terrible.
boogeyman Egregore,
That's why we have
an
X.
oligarch
Yeah, and
puppet.
That's why you spent $44 billion. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, $44 billion that he fucking lost. Like what's X's valuation now? Like fucking $8 billion or something like that. $12 billion. Don't quote me on those exact numbers. I don't know. Yeah, lost a bunch of fucking money on it because it's unprofitable. Elon, you dumb fuck. Elon, you goddamn bastard. The left wants to take over mainstream media. I know, it's like they're this is shit I would say when I was 18 in like 2016. This is like the kind of shit I would ramble on about.
I mean,
More than it was probably worth. But there was a message.
freedom is priceless.
Priceless. Yeah. Probably one of the most important investments this
The
country's ever
Doge
seen.
number are totally
If you
fake
got to protect the
PCW.
First Amendment, it's not much more important than that.
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of criticism, and people said, well, that proves he's a huge idiot from look, he bought it for whatever, $44 billion, and now it's worth like 8 cents. And
It's not worth 8 cents.
but there's the, but the, yeah, it was essentially to buy freedom of expression, yeah.
Once that's gone, it's all over.
Yeah.
It's all over.
Yeah.
Descent into tyranny is really quick after that.
Yeah, I mean, like all the sort of federal money going to media companies is what helps explain why the legacy media all says the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, isn't it like it's like weird? Like you put them up with like, like when
They're mouthpieces for
the state.
the state.
Yes.
And that's what we've.
Is that not what like fucking podcasting is now? Elon, is it not mouthpieces for the state? Is that not what Joe Rogan has become? Also, didn't Joe Rogan's like not the most viewed podcast anymore? What is it, like Midas Touch? Something. It's like a anti-Trump podcast overtook Joe Rogan. Is that true? I have to fact check that. Midas podcast. I don't know, what is it called? The Midas Touch podcast. Midas Touch overtakes Joe Rogan. Touch. If I can type properly, please. Jesus Christ. Midas Touch Joe Rogan. Here it is. Where the hell is the Midas Touch podcast and why is it surpassed Joe Rogan? This week, Joe Rogan lost his grip on the top of the podcast charts again, the second time in just a couple months. The first to dethrone him was Kylie Kels, who's decidedly not the liberal Joe Rogan. She's nice, but her podcast is political all. Blah, blah, blah. Lefty podcast knocked Joe Rogan down a rung. If you wonder what the hell is Midas Touch, I've never heard of this podcast until I saw this headline. Congratulations, you managed to avoid political social media for the last several years. I have mixed feelings about Midas Touch. Actually, that's a lie. I strongly dislike Midas Touch, but I don't necessarily hate the attention they're getting. They're basically the podcast equivalent of that liberal aunt who posts on Facebook every half an hour and floods your blue sky timeline with retweets. In person, she's great. Online, needs to chill the fuck out. Midas Touch is a lefty media company founded by brothers Ben, Brett, and Jordan Meiselas, spun out of Democratic Super PAC they launched in 2020, and their podcast is exactly what you expect from a Democratic Super PAC, the audio equivalent of those relentless fundraising texts from the Democratic Party. Yes, I appreciate the cause, but for the love of God, stop texting me. What is this? What am I reading right now? Am I reading like an indie? What is Times of India? What am I reading? Downloaded, listened to 570 fucking last month. I don't know, man. This narrative that only the mainstream media hates Trump. They can't keep this up much longer. It's just like objectively not true.
Come to know.
Yeah,
it's scary.
And I like that meme where they're because they're always saying like threat to our democracy, but if you just replace democracy with bureaucracy,
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense.
it makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Big threat to the bureaucracy.
That's exactly right. Let's talk about these Doge dividend checks that everybody's talking about this week. And I know you tweeted out that you were gonna. Does everybody want like a $5,000 check in the mail? It sounds kind of good, right? And
I'll believe it when I see it.
Would be knowing where it came from. That's $5,000 that you sent them last year.
Totally. It's money that's taken away from things that are destructive to the country, and from organizations that hate you to you. That's awesome.
Does it seem? I mean, have you talked?
I mean, that's like glorious. That's like
best.
the spoils of battle, you know.
I like that. Is there traction on that?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I talked to the president. He's supportive of that, and so it sounds like
see.
That's something we're going to do.
Yep.
So as we're finding savings, that's going to translate directly to reductions in tax. So.
Yeah. I think they fired 6,000 people at the IRS today.
Yeah.
And I think Lutnick said last night that they're talking about shutting down the IRS. And I think it's fair. I think people should realize this is. I mean, the amount of money that we send Washington like $5 or $6 trillion a year. That is such an ungodly amount of money. I mean, what do they? They say like 1 trillion seconds is like 30 years or something like that. I mean, that's how much we send them, and they seem to never have enough. There must be a lot you can cut.
No, absolutely. People ask me, what's the most surprising thing that you've encountered when you go to D.C., when you're in D.C.? And I said, well, the most surprising thing is the scale of the expenditures and actually how easy it is to, when you add caring and competence where it was absent before, you can actually save billions of dollars, sometimes in an hour.
Yeah.
I feel like caring and competence were the wrong word choices there. Look, man, I'm not gonna pretend to be an expert on fucking government finance, okay? But I don't know. Am I insane? Am I insane to say that dismantling the IRS seems a bit drastic? Like, is there not a reason that these things exist? Correct me if I'm wrong there. Yeah, I feel like I'm just getting the vibe. I'm just getting the vibe as an oaf behind the screen, man. I'm just getting a little bit of the vibe that's a bad idea.
Like it's wild.
And then they scoff at it and say, "Oh, a few billion here, there." I mean, the way they're talking about it, you can see they don't care. It's such little money compared to how much they're used to wasting. That's what's really scary.
Yeah, no, I mean exactly. But obviously, it just shows that they really lack empathy for the average taxpayer who's working hard, paying taxes, and then they say, "Oh, $1 million doesn't matter." I'm like, I think it matters a lot to people,
Yeah.
So what are you talking about?
I'd like to have it. Let me ask you a question. I know the president fairly well, watched him survive 2 assassination attempts. Had the first one not happened, the second one would have gotten him. You know, it was very, because without those extra guys, they would have never seen that gun poking through the fence at the golf course. I saw the crew that you
Isn't it like mind-blowing that this has happened? I mean, it just, and what, by the way, why do we still know nothing about that guy in Butler? What's going on? But
I don't know, man. You're the you're like second in power to the. Why don't you figure it out, man? You're the one in power. Open source 3D printed air.
Open source 3D printed anti-air missile.
I think maybe Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, and the second in command, not second in command, I guess. I don't know, quasi second in command of the president. You think they might have the resources to figure out if it was really important and it really mattered, they would figure out who the fuck the second guy was? Or I'm just going on a limb here that maybe he was just a nutcase. Maybe everything is as it seems. Is that ridiculous? What's up, brother?
Yo. Well, not much. I'm just trying to sneak in a quick recording before grabbing dinner.
Oh, fuck yeah, brother.
Yo.
It's mind-blowing that Trump's mind wasn't blown. Yeah, that seems more... I feel like that seems more sus than it being a conspiracy, is the fact that the bullet didn't actually hit him and just, like, clipped his ear. I don't know. Maybe everything is as weird as it seems. Maybe there's no simple explanations for stuff. All of this is just fucking nonsense. That's what I lean towards. Oh, can you close that door over? Thank you, brother.
He's
Cash is going to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, there you go.
By the way, yeah.
Confirmed just a couple hours ago, but I saw that the security detail that you had come in is enormous.
Well, it's not that enormous. Maybe it should be bigger. I don't know.
It might. I think you could probably afford it. But I mean, how concerned are you about your safety? Dealing, I mean, you are a wanted man. Are you nervous?
So, look, I'm open to ideas for improving security. I have to tell you, I don't actually have a death wish. I think,
Potato Gamer 5303 Art Chat. Will you ever have a turkey tom on Horseshoe Theory? I got great news for you. Potato Gamer 5303. I think this might be the best news you've ever received from asking that question. We filmed that yesterday. You bitch bastard. You goddamn bastard. We filmed that yesterday. It's gonna be out this goddamn week. Ask and you shall receive, motherfucker. That's what it's all about.
It's not that easy. Yeah. I mean, but I have I've had even people like President Bukele from El Salvador who managed to put in prison I don't know 100,000 murderous thugs. And he was he called me. He's like, I'm worried about your security. I'm like, you're worried about my security? I'm like, what? Okay. That's
I mean, yeah. Talk about guts to do that down there. I mean,
yeah, totally.
And survive.
I was like, how did you put all those thugs in prison without dying? Because it seems like that would have been not easy, Well,
there's the president has one of his top attorneys is now investigating, I guess, Chuck Schumer for threats against SCOTUS, a congressman on the Democrat side for saying, basically saying we're going to bring a war to you, like a fight to you. I mean, the rhetoric. You guys are screwing with things.
Don't get me on the fucking don't use the word rhetoric around me. Don't use that word around me, man. Don't use rhetoric. They're gonna bring a war to you. You're saying that's inflammatory language, you dumb fucks. The fucking the president that almost overthrew, that almost cooed the fucking White House on January 6th. You guys say the phrase "bringing the war to you" is dangerous rhetoric. Oh my god, man. Suck my fat cock. Fuck you.
Things that are not supposed to be messed with. And
we're fighting the Matrix.
There's a lot
big
of
time.
people that really don't want that to happen.
Yeah, we're fighting the Matrix big time here.
Yeah.
But it's got to be done.
Yeah.
And
Are
gotta
you?
be done.
It certainly does. What's going on with? Tell us about Fort Knox.
Yeah.
There's Kentucky. It's a military base. It's a ton of gold, tons and tons and tons of gold.
5,000 tons of gold or something,
5,000
give or
tons
take,
of gold are there in the ground and this. I mean, it's a very secure
I think
thing.
we all want to see it.
I'd love to see it.
This is your gold, by the way.
He looks like a skinwalker. Just the way his you're saying, why is he wearing those sunglasses? He looks like he's wearing somebody else's face a little bit. I'm not gonna knock. What is he, like 52? I'm not gonna knock a 52-year-old guy for not looking, not looking like a supermodel. But he's uniquely pale. Well, let's say it that. It's medically fascinating.
It's the public's goal.
Do you think it's not there?
I don't know. But I think
You just want to see it.
Yeah, we want to go see it and just make sure like somebody didn't spray paint some lead or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like, is this real gold? Fight at the bar, you know?
Didn't dent.
But I think, honestly, part of this also is just like...
True son of Yakub.
Let's have some fun and like I said, all this gold at Fort Knox, it's the public's gold. It's your gold. So, like, I think you have, like, a right to see it.
You want to take a tour?
You know? Yeah. I think we should have it do a tour. And then the president last night was like, I think he's in favor of it. That would be cool. And then it should be like a live tour. Like, you can see what's going on, open the door, like, what's behind it.
Well, and there's...
I think I'd watch that.
Oh, are you kidding?
Yeah.
I mean, what does 5,000 tons of gold look
totally.
like?
What does
How
it
big
look
is
like?
that? Is it the size of this?
It's got to be pretty
stage?
big,
I mean,
you know?
It's got to be a lot of gold.
He looks like he's wearing a combination of Halloween costumes. Yeah, this is like when you don't... like, his outfit is like when you don't have a Halloween costume, but you have, like, one weird pair of sunglasses, and you put some weird shit together, and you say you're, like, a random side character on The Sopranos for Halloween. That's like what he's wearing. That's his outfit. Is like lazy. Like you got invited to a costume party 10 minutes ago, and this is like what you pulled out of your wardrobe because you have nothing else. You have one pair of sunglasses from like 10 years ago, and you built a fucking costume around it.
Some other stuff in there, like just walk around. Like I don't know, maybe they got some other stuff in there.
Are you thinking about auditing the Federal Reserve as well, which is obviously
yeah, sure.
Regulates our economy? I imagine you think the waste has got to be everywhere.
Yeah, no, waste is pretty much everywhere. People ask, like, how can you find waste in DC? I'm like, look, it's like being in a room, and this target, the wall, the roofs, and the floor are all targets. So it's like, you're gonna close your eyes and go shoot in any direction. Because you can't miss, you know?
This guy fucking hates him. This guy, the Newsmax guy, there's just like, fucking hates Elon. You can tell by his fucking reaction. The dude's so sick of this fucking conversation.
So it's pretty wild. Like you just push on things a little bit and you save billions of dollars. Like just a little bit, you know? It's wild.
It's scary, isn't it?
That's why I say it really is underrated. If you add caring and competence, how much things improve.
Yeah.
And we just find so many totally crazy things, which, we're sharing with the public. We post everything we learn. So you can see it, you know.
What do you?
And like, it's like, isn't it like it's totally wild? Like we just did like a check the database on Social Security. Like says how many alive Americans eligible for Social Security are there? And according to the database, it's over 400 million. And we're like, wait.
Okay, that I need to look into because my gut tells me. I'm going off my gut, okay? My gut tells me there's a non-obvious reason. I could be wrong here. I've yet to look into this. I could be wrong. But when it's saying like there's 1 million Americans over the age of like 120 receiving Social Security, there's no way. I'm going in dark right now. I'm going entirely dark. There's no way that makes sense or that wasn't caught. Social Security. Americans.
My gut says oligarchy's manipulative liar.
Okay, what is this? Morningstar. Can I get a better source here? I don't know what Morningstar is. Wired. There you go. No, 150-year-olds aren't collecting Social Security benefits. Elon Musk claims to have found rampant fraud in the Social Security Administration. There's a much simpler explanation. Elon Musk has repeatedly claimed that his so-called Doge project had uncovered massive government fraud when it alleged that 150-year-olds were claiming Social Security benefits. But Musk has provided no evidence to back up his claims, and experts quickly pointed out that this is very likely just a quirk of the decades-old coding language that underpins the government payment systems. Musk first made the claims during his Oval Office press conference last week when he claimed that a cursory examination of Social Security, and we got people in there that are 150 years old. Now, do you know anyone that's 150? I don't know. They should be in the Guinness Book of World Records, so that's a case where I think they're probably dead. Yes, no shit, Sherlock. Well, while no evidence was produced to back up this claim, it was picked up by right-wing commentators online, primarily Musk's own X platform, as well as being reported credibly by pro-Trump media outlets. Computer programmers quickly claimed that the 150 figure was not evidence of fraud, but rather a result of a weird quirk in the Social Security Administration benefits system, which was largely written in COBOL, a 60-year-old programming language that undergrids SSAs, databases, as well as systems many other U.S. government agencies. COBOL is rarely used today, and as such, Musk's cadre of young engineers may well be unfamiliar with it. Because COBOL doesn't have a data type, some implementations rely instead on a system whereby all dates are coded to a reference point. The most commonly used is May 20th, 1875, as this is the date of an international standard-setting conference held in Paris known as the Convention des Métiers. These systems default to the reference point when a birth date is missing or incomplete, meaning all those entries in 2025 would show an age of 150. That's just one possible explanation for what Doge allegedly found. Musk could also have simply looked up the SSA's own website, which explains that since September 2015...
I understand.
Fucking Luigi. You coming in here.
What's that?
You're just as goddamn Luigi.
Oh, yeah, sorry, guys. It's me, Luigi.
One possible explanation for Doge allegedly found Musk could also have looked up the SSA's own website, which explains that since September 2015, the agency has automatically stopped benefit payments when anyone reaches the age of 115. However, on Monday morning, Musk doubled down, posting a screenshot of what he claims to be figures from the Social Security database on X, writing the numbers of people in each age bracket with the death field set as false. The figure suggested over 10 million people aged over 120 were collecting social benefits. Maybe Twilight is real and there's a lot of vampires, blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up, Elon Musk. The database Musk took the screenshot from listed almost 400 million people, which is more than 5 times the number of people receiving benefits in 2024. According to the SSA's own website, it's also significantly more than the entire U.S. population. The fact that Social Security system contains millions of entries from people who are dead is likely distinct from a potential Siebel error cause and also not news. A report written by the SSA's Inspector General in 2023 found that 98% of those aged 100 or older in Social Security databases are not in recipient of any benefits. The report added that the database would not be updated because it would cost too much money to do so. Oh, fascinating. Siebel? I don't know what coding languages are, man. COBOL? 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 Doge going into all these agencies with largely unfettered access with a wrecking ball and no understanding of business logic and structure behind the code, database, and configured business logic, related payment systems, and integrated decision trees poses real risks to the privacy and personal level data of millions of people across all those records. Thomas Drake, a former National Security Agency executive turned whistleblower, tells Wired. Musk, during the Oval Office press conference, which was also attended by his son, claimed the payments to 150-year-olds was part of the billions, maybe even tens of billions in corruption and waste that his Doge effort had already uncovered. But just like the condom shipments to Gaza or payments to Politico, Musk's claims of Social Security fraud seems to be a gross misrepresentation of what's actually happening and why. In the same press conference where he made the remarks about 150-year-olds collecting Social Security benefits, Musk said his Doge project would be maximally transparent with all savings being made posted to its website. But when the site came online last week, not only was it just a repurposed Twitter feed with terrible security, it also lacked any details in a section dedicated to savings. At the time, the site's administrators claimed the savings section would be updated no later than Valentine's Day. When that deadline came and went without any update, the administrator wrote, "Receipts coming over the weekend." The page was briefly populated on Saturday before being taken down at the time of the publication on Monday. No receipts were ever posted. I do worry about bait and switch and further transfers of wealth.
Investigate Doge savings number.
I will look into that after this. That sounds, because all this is so fucking funny to me. I do worry about bait and switch and further transfers of wealth and even more debt financing into the hands of even fewer driven by power and abject self-interest, not public interest. Drake believes democracy is in real danger. Neither Doge nor the White House responded to requests for comments about Musk's claims. Doge savings number. Okay, I'm going to go into that too. Doge teams wall. This is from CBS. So if you hate fucking mainstream media, sorry. Suck my cock. Gotta read it somewhere. Doge team's wall of receipts shows errors in tallying billions of savings. After repeated delays, the Department of Government Efficiency on Monday released a wall of receipts.
Biggest item listed as billion was millions.
What is characterized as documentation of the money saved by the slashing cuts to jobs and contracts pushed by Elon Musk's team at Doge over the past several weeks. The initial accounting was overstated by billions of dollars.
As a Latin American, it's good to see the US is finally experience the third world government experience.
Thank you, Pizza Man, for the 5 there. The 5 R. What is R? Please just move to Europe and live in peace. Man, I swear to God, the second, dude. I feel like the only place I've been in Europe is Athens, and I loved Athens so much. And I feel like Athens gets the reputation of being a shithole, but like I loved Athens, dude. It was dirty, it was grungy, the music was dope, the art was dope, the food was amazing. I've never been in a city. Toronto's got a lot of life, man. That is not five rupees. What is that? 5 rupees is like rupees? What is that? How much money is that in Canadian? Like 3 cents. Yeah, Toronto's got a lot of life, man, but Athens was like fucking alive, dude. That place is just like brimming with culture and life in a way that I have not experienced in a Western city in so long. I'm totally the second YouTube gets enough off the ground that I don't have to work a day job. I'm going on a world fucking tour, dude. Sorry, where were we? The initial accounting was overstated by billions of dollars, a review by CBS News found. Among the errors were contracts that Doge identified for cuts, saying the move could save billions for taxpayers, but they were actually standard government funding vehicles called indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contracts. The Doge team misread these specialized contracts, experts told CBS News. As a result, overstated their push for savings by as much as $1.96 billion. A closer inspection of another so-called savings, the cancellation of a contract Doge identified as worth $8 billion was in fact only $8 million. This single mistake slashed the receipts of savings Doge said it identified in half to $8.4 billion. The error involved an award for Homeland Security's Immigration and Customs Enforcement's Equal Opportunity Employment Office. That's a fucking mouthful. And the contract described the project as Program and Technical Support Services for Office and Diversity and Civil Rights. In his first days in office, President Trump signed executive orders to end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in the federal government. The Doge team, led by Elon Musk, has become a hallmark of Mr. Trump's early days in office. As members of the efficiency team set up shop in federal agencies to identify cuts of employees, grants, and contracts. The president has praised the effort, which he says is long overdue, move to eliminate waste. They're doing a hell of a job. It's an amazing job they're doing. He said during his remarks in the Oval Office on February 11th, "You know that force is building. I call it the force of super geniuses." Fuck, dude. Oh my God, man. You ever read an Abraham Lincoln speech? You ever listen to the sheer beauty of an Abraham Lincoln speech? Trump's only fucking adjective you can use is very. Everything's very big and very bad and very good. It's like, you know when you're in like grade 2 English and they're like give you that chart and it's like, don't use very good, use great. Don't use very bad, use horrible. It's like the earliest thing you learn in English class as a fucking child. Maybe education has dropped so much off a cliff that no one fucking even remembers those charts. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Do you guys like know those charts I'm talking about? I feel like those are like so prevalent in my life. Doge's accounting error involving indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contracts, known in government speak as IDIQ, occurred because the team likely misunderstood how government contracting works. Probably because it's run by 21-year-olds with broccoli cuts. Experts told CBS News these contracts are designed to set a ceiling for the funding of a larger project. Multiple contractors bid on tasks within the IDIQ.
I love the poorly educated.
Hey man, me too. I can't hate them. The ceiling for the project, as defined as Doge, was $655 million, but Doge claimed savings of $654,990,000 3 times. In actuality, the government spent less on the contract, around $400 million over the course of the past 4 years for 44 different subcontracts, and the IDIQ is likely to have only minimal additional spending. If the specific contract was called USAID Evel Me USAID Evolve Me 2 IDIQ, an approved monitoring, evaluation, and learning services to promote evidence-based decision-making for adaptive management across USAID. One of the contractors involved told CBS News that this program was directly responsible for ensuring that U.S. taxpayer money was spent in accordance with U.S. goals and interests. The White House did not respond to a request for comment about discrepancy, and Doge also did not respond to a request for comment. Doge may be more interested in inflating savings than in accurately reporting them, said Scott Amy, general counsel for the Nonpartisan Project on Government Oversight. The New York Times, which first reported Doge's $8 billion accounting error, pointed out that a 2022 version of this contract was listed at $8 billion. On January 22 of this year, the figure was changed to $8 million. The contracting company D&G Solutions confirmed to CBS News that this was originally the result of an accounting error and that $3.8 million of the contract had already been expired. On Wednesday morning, Doge fixed the error, and the website now shows $8 million in savings for the contract, but the link they provided for the receipt is to the earlier $8 billion figure. Musk recently admitted he knows Doge isn't perfect, defending Doge during an Oval Office appearance on February 11th. He said that some of the things I say will be incorrect and should be corrected. Nobody's going to bat 1,000. We will make mistakes. We will act quickly to correct any mistakes, he added. Beyond the ICE contract blunder, Abe described the numbers as underwhelming. Excluding the impact of USAID's elimination, receipts of contract savings from other agencies appear to total $2 billion, a fraction of the federal budget, which stands at $6.75 trillion. If Doge's goal is to trim $1 trillion or $2 trillion, it is a long way to go, and Congress has to do its job to cut spending too, Amy said. Musk said he'd like to trim $2 trillion, putting Doge at 0.1% of his goal. Many of these contract cancellations outside of the USAID cuts appear to have been selected based on language in the agreements referencing diversity, equity, or inclusion, CBS News review found. Yeah, I've noticed that too. It's all very ideological. Then wasn't there like an error that popped up that was like the government like blacklisted the word woman off of shit? I don't know. I'd forget the exact wording. I have to fact check or double check that for you. And at what cost? Among the receipts on Doge Wall was funding for a Department of Education project that's now been scrapped. The contractor described the real-world consequences.
Axe the tax, fix the budget, defund the CBC.
The contractor described the real-world consequences in an interview. 13 school districts across 11 states were set to receive more than $13 million to support over 1,070 youth with disabilities participating in the program. At USAID, savings touted by Doge on X on Saturday included $10 million for Mozambique voluntary medical male circumcision. That sounds like idiocracy. I gotta admit, that one's pretty funny. And $9.7 million for UC Berkeley to develop a cohort of Cambodian youth with enterprise-driven skills, among other cuts. Circumcision has been proved to reduce the spread of HIV by as much as 60%. Programs like that have the potential for significantly lower costs for the president's emergency plan for AIDS relief, known as PEPFAR, which provides antiretroviral. Fuck, dude, I cannot read. Sorry for my 95 IQ here. Antiretroviral. Fuck me, dude. I'm so dumb. Which provides antiretroviral treatment for people living with AIDS and HIV, and had been given a limited waiver to continue to operate at the end of January. It has been credited with helping save 26 million lives. One 2017 estimate suggested that widespread circumcision efforts could avert 3.6 million new HIV infections and save $16.5 billion. Doge has for weeks been promising an accounting of the unprecedented sweep through federal agencies that appear to have left hundreds of workers suddenly jobless. Meanwhile, Doge's abrupt firings have set government agencies on edge. The government is now trying to rehire hundreds of workers in the U.S. nuclear weapons program after last week's layoffs. Farmers across the U.S. remain in limbo after promised federal funds for healthy soil initiatives amounting to thousands of dollars per farm failed to materialize. Life-saving efforts across Africa have also been put on hold, while service providers wait for clarity on whether court-ordered funds will resume. Damn. That's bleak, man. That's pretty bleak. You know, I'm not going to say I'm against the initiative to cut government spending. I think that's a good thing. But this is pretty bleak, because it's like, you know, again, Elon Musk's Doge is operated by 21-year-olds. Okay, let's. Where is he? Doge Goon Squad, Doge Gooner Squad. Look at this fucking guy. Look at this 19-year-old, 25, 23, 24, 21. Oh my God, man. That's the platonic ideal of a Zoomer. That's the greatest Zoomer I've ever seen in my entire life. That's like, this is like what every guy who gets a broccoli cut is thinking of, is a guy in a suit like this. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know, man. It seems like it's crazy, extrapolation here. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going on a limb. It seems like if you get a bunch of 20-year-olds who have no context of how things work and say, hey, man, anything that seems woke, just get rid of it. And they come across funding for male circumcision, and they think it's probably like a trans initiative. I could see that, maybe like a 21-year-old being like, oh, everyone's running around outside. A 21-year-old finds it and goes, "Oh, this is some sort of gender reassignment initiative in Mozambique. Let's cut it." And they cut it because they have no oversight or context of fucking anything. I could see some folly coming from that. Hey, man, but they won't. You described.
You just described military indoctrination.
It's trad though. Hey, so yeah, son of Imperium. It's trad. I forgot it's trad. Trad is better than Trad's better than fucking bad. Trad's better than new. Yeah, dude, we're cooked, man. We're cooked. I like to see them defund Israel. I like to see them. There's probably, imagine the fucking, I don't know. There's some dumb shit, dude. But this is how this is happening, right? They're just taking like kids, basically, and telling them to get rid of anything that seems woke. This kind of seems like the. I feel like, if the circumcision, if the Mozambique circumcisions were there to prevent the spread of AIDS, maybe we should keep them. Also, if the amount that the circumcisions were saving in future AIDS treatment equaled more than the cut to the circumcision treatment, that kind of feels like a good bargain. If we're gonna cut 9.7 million, we're gonna cut 9.7 million in spending to Mozambique, and then end up having to spend 16 million later to oh no, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna let them die. Sorry, I forgot how this operates now. We're not the U.S. is not a global hegemonic power anymore. They're just gonna let the fucking world burn around them while they isolate, wall off their borders, and employ their working class to be fucking techno serfs that build nails for a living instead of getting skilled labor.
Wait a second.
And how many are getting?
How old are they again?
Yeah.
And then like we found like one person in there is like 360 years old. I'm like, what, they know Ben
More than 100
Franklin
years
or
before the
something?
revolution.
I mean, yeah. America didn't exist before that time. Like so.
Yeah, we were colonies.
Maybe it's just me, but I think it's a red flag. I don't know.
But are there indications that there were checks going to those people or any of those people?
Oh, he asked a real question.
Well, yeah.
That's, I guess, the question, right? I mean, I get the Social Security Administration is dumb, but are they paying these people? Are they that dumb? I don't know.
A bunch of money is going out from the Social Security Administration, and in fact, from
Fuck you, dude. Oh my God, fuck this guy.
all entitlements programs.
$72 billion in waste in like 7 years. That's $10 billion a year.
Well, I think the
Fraudulent payments.
the rough or estimate.
He didn't answer the. That's his response. That's his fucking response. Oh, so like, the numbers you found, as we proved, the numbers you found, they're going. That is that money actually going out, or is it just numbers? There's a lot of money. There's a lot of money.
From government accountability offices is over $500 billion of fraud a year. 500 billion.
And how long at a time?
Per year.
Per year? On Social Security?
No. On
America is not the world's mother.
On all entitlements.
All entitlements.
All entitlements. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll change my opinion when I find a good justification to do so. But the world kind of feels like a better place. There's going to be a global hegemonic power, and what's the alternative, man? Is it Russia? Is it China? Is it India? Do you want those? Do you want China running the world? Do you want China to be the world's leading power? I kind of feel like America's the best one. Whatever you agree with or not, fair enough. If you hate the concept of hegemony, fair, dude. It'd be nice if we could all just do our own thing and not be influenced by each other's power. But someone's got to hold that position, and I'd rather it be America than fucking China or India. And also, yes, Fraserus, I am a techno serf. I work for an ad agency for below minimum wage. That is what being a YouTuber in the early stages is.
It sort of actually makes sense when you look at the thing from a top level and say, like, okay, there's $7 trillion of spending by the government. What percentage do you think is fraudulent? Okay, exactly. Like, a conservative estimate of the $7 trillion would be 10%. Conservative.
Probably a little higher than that, yeah.
Exactly.
Feels like a quarter out of every dollar, right?
But if
They're just saying numbers, man.
Of $7 trillion, you've got $700 billion of fraud.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's like really easy to take advantage of the federal government. It's very easy. So,
Very easy. Look at COVID.
Yes.
Everybody got rich during COVID. I mean, look at all.
What? What is he referring to there? Is he referring to the the checks that Trump set out? Or is he referring to... I don't understand what he's referencing there. Everyone got rich during COVID. He can mean one of two things. He can, one, the stimulus checks that Trump sent out the last time he was in office, or two, the undeniable transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich, the largest upward transfer of wealth in the 21st century. Both of those things are hypocritical and horrible. Like, I don't... What?
Scammers? I mean, it's unbelievable.
People that matter all got rich.
It looks like, in terms of the COVID payments, there was some...
Age of globalism is ending, plus China is paper tiger. Why does there have to be a hegemon?
Because there's going to be a hegemon. Like, someone's going to fill that gap, right? There's no world in which there isn't a hegemonic power unless we completely deglobalize, destroy the global supply chain, all produce things in isolation, and no countries can communicate with each other anymore. There's going to be a global hegemon. I don't care if you say China's a paper tiger. If America isn't there, no matter how weak China may seem or may not seem, it's completely uncertain because they're a fucking walled-off nation. It's they're gonna fill the void. Doesn't seem like it's gonna be Russia. Could be India. We'll see. I hope India does well. Just for them. I got a love-hate relationship with Indians, man. I'm not gonna say I got a love-hate relationship with Indians. But again, I don't know, man. I'm just saying it's like saying, I don't know, capitalism sucks, and saying capitalism sucks in a vacuum. Like, yeah, fair enough, but what are the alternatives to capitalism right now? Or what are the alternatives to, like, religions, you know? There's always, like things are better than other things. These systems, like, this power relationship has to exist. It always will exist.
Something like $200 billion of COVID payment fraud taken by fraudsters out of the country.
Out of the country, yeah.
That's like I think, listen, if there's going to be fraud, it should at least be domestic.
Yeah.
So...
Billionaire given power by the government talks about how easy it is to take advantage of the government. Lamau, you can't make this up.
Yeah, don't forget, thank you for the 5 there, Pizza Man. Jesus Christ, dude, this guy's fortune is built on government subsidies. His first 6 or $7 billion came entirely from government subsidies. He's not even from America. He's from South Africa. He's an immigrant who built his fortune off government subsidies. Like, I feel like. Can you hear the video audio a bit? Yeah, I got you. James, I may be a midwit, but at least I'm honest. Yeah, no, this is it's. Archet, why do you half hate Indians? I want them to do good. There's too many Indians in Toronto. It's a little annoying, but that's my gut reaction. On my heart wishes them well. My heart wishes Indians well.
You know. But they managed to get $200 billion out of the country. I'm like, what? Didn't we notice that?
Let me ask you, let's do immigration here for a second. You know, there's this move now that Trump's latest thing is that he cut he's going to cut funding, any kind of money that ends up in the hands of illegal immigrants. So if you're funding these sanctuary cities and states, that's how they thrive, right? They're paying for these hotels. That's all federal money. If you got a hotel in your city, in New York, you got all these hotels full of migrants, that's not state money. That's the feds are covering that. He's going to cut all that. It's really hard to deport 15 million people. And it seems like the move now.
He's deported less people than Biden did in the same time last year, by the way. I think by 50% less. I believe Biden's numbers were 80,000 and Trump's numbers are like 37,000. So I gotta fact check that. Trump reports less than Biden. There we go. Last year in office. 37. Sorry, it was 57,000 from Biden. Deported 37,000 people during his first month in office. Previously unpublished U.S. Department of Homeland Security data shows far less than the monthly average of 57,000 removals and returns in the last year of Joe Biden's administration. So there you go. He's fucking. He's I don't know. We're a month in, man. He's fucking up the one thing he said he'd. You know, it looks really nice on TV. You know, it's a really nice spectacle when armed soldiers raid homes in Chicago and pull fucking children and parents out of houses by force. You know, it's a nice spectacle when that video of them that the White House Twitter page posted called illegal immigrant deportation ASMR of people walking with shackles around their fucking ankles onto a plane. That looks nice on TV. That looks nice for your fucking base, man. But this is it's just. Did anyone else see? Sorry, I gotta bring that up. That was like. You want to talk about radicalizing? You want to talk about being fucking radicalized? Is immigrant ASMR. See if I can find this posts.
We must have an hegemon until we realize we don't.
Is it this? I gotta see. Yeah, here we go. The White House ASMR illegal alien deportation place. There you go. They're gonna take people who are in the same position of many people come to this country, or many people go to America who look for a better life. They're gonna wrap them up in chains like slaves and prisoners. How about a path to citizenship? Like, why don't you figure out who the ones not committing crimes are, who the ones that actually want to build a life here, and give them a path to citizenship? Because they seem to be economically useful and they fit well into our country. How about that? It's the White House page, by the way. This is the gray check mark White House Twitter page. Yeah, radicalized. They illegally invaded the country. They are invaders. Yeah, what if they? I don't understand. It's a legal issue though. It's not a moral. It's not a character issue. It's a legal issue.
Did you watch Sam Hyde Dear Elon video?
I watched a bit of it. I'm kind of disenfranchised with Sam. It seems like he's very clearly just just come out as a white supremacist, man. Like, you're still funny. I still love world peace. I think a lot of his projects are hilarious. I love the MDE team as a media group, as what they've created. But like, America's for Americans. Everyone knows what an American is. I'm like, just say it, dude. Like, don't be a pussy. Just explicitly say it, man. At this point, no one's gonna get angry at you for just saying America's white. Don't dance around the topic.
Now is, let's see if we, especially at the rate that we're going, it seems like the move now is, let's make it so that they leave on their own. If there's no longer a dole system for them, if they can't get their hands on hotel rooms and money, they're going to go back, especially if there's no work.
Well, I think it's really important for people to understand that the Biden administration sent any possible money that they could if there was money they could send to facilitate and amplify illegal immigration, they sent it. Okay, they took money from FEMA, meant for helping Americans in distress, and sent that money to luxury hotels for illegal immigrants in New York. That is
Yeah.
an outrage.
Yeah.
They actually did that. And not only that, even after the president signed an executive order saying it has to stop, the famous, the sort of whatever deep state bureaucrats still pressed send on $80 million last week to go to the Roosevelt Hotel in New York and other places last week.
It's
And now they're
unbelievable.
mad that it got stopped, and they're like trying to sue to have it be restored. It's like the gumption is
You think they're
unreal.
creating a new voter class? Would you think that was the goal when they opened up the
Yes.
borders for 4 years? Create a new voter class, get them citizenship, get them in, green cards, vote.
A lot of these things, like you don't actually have to assume some grand conspiracy. You just need to look at base.
That's good. That's the most base thing Elon's ever said. That's the most base thing Elon said in this entire interview is he says some retarded conspiracy theory. Elon says, don't create a conspiracy theory. That's good.
Basic incentives.
Benefits.
So if the incentives, fundamentally, if the probability that an illegal is going to vote Democrat at some point, whether it's cheating, but eventually they can become citizens. But if the probability is like 80, 90%, you can just look at California, which is supermajority Dem.
Sorry here. Didn't most Mexican men vote for Trump last year? Isn't that sort of the, isn't that like a thing? Sorry, I'm getting my facts wrong here, maybe. Maybe I'm a little confused, huh? But isn't it like second generation Mexicans traditionally become conservative? Second generation Mexicans actually assimilate so well they don't even learn Spanish. I believe the majority of them don't even know Spanish, and they vote conservative. Right? Sorry, am I? Come on. Maybe I'm a little crazy there, huh? Getting a little conspiratorial, huh?
And then the incentive is to maximize the number of illegals in the country. That is why the Biden administration
It's objectively not true.
Pushing to get in as many illegals as possible and spend every dollar possible to get as many, because every one of them is a customer. Every one of them is a voter.
Yeah.
Not true. That's like a bold-faced lie. It's objectively not true. There's never been data to back that up. I can maybe look. I'm talking about Mexicans. I'm sure if maybe non-Mexican immigrants, I don't know the data on that. I don't know the numbers. Nobody hates Mexicans more than conservative Mexicans. Legal immigrants are anti-immigrant, obviously, except for family reunification, because they cannot afford the competition of the society. My dad is a second-generation Cuban, and he, 1, doesn't know Spanish, and 2, loves Trump and anything that's not woke. Do you think Elon eats box? No, I think I bet you know, like Jean-Paul Sartre. There's like this. It's not a conspiracy. It's like a theory with Jean-Paul Sartre's work. Is that Jean-Paul Sartre really hated sex. He thought sex was super disgusting. I kind of feel like Elon is in the. I feel like Elon thinks like vaginas are icky. I get the sense like that's his kind of approach. Is that Democrats only when it's in areas let illegals vote. There's plenty of data. Look at the map where voter ID is not required. Yes, there's very conservative on social issues, which is why they voted Trump, but they're politically uneducated in general. Vaginas turned to dust around Elon.
So
well, I don't know, man. He fucked Grimes.
It was a giant voter importation scam.
Pretty obvious.
Very obvious.
That's a crazy thing to say.
And then
that's a crazy thing to say because they won the election by a decent margin. They have a supermajority. Like, they won the election. How can you say there's a voter importation scam when you won the election and when you won the male Mexican vote? Like, it's just those facts don't line up.
And moreover, then they actually created the CVP1 voter app thing, where they were, which is like where they would literally fly people in. It's not like like at the point at which people are being flown in at your expense.
Sending planes,
like building
pick
a wall
people up,
doesn't
fly
matter.
them over the border.
Yeah, they're literally flying them in.
No other country in the world would do something like this. Nobody is this stupid.
Yeah, and then we found that it was like a $100 million contract given to some guy in London, actually, oddly enough.
Yeah.
For the
Reminder,
CVP1 app.
oligarchs lie.
So they're flying illegals into the swing states.
Yeah.
And if you've got like a margin of victory of maybe 20,000 people, and you fly 200,000 illegals into that state. It's not going to be a swing state for long.
Change the numbers eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe in 4 or 8 years, you're
Exactly.
talking about
It's
perpetual
just a matter
power.
of time.
It's a long game.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
So it might take like a year for an asylum seeker or something to get a green card, and then 5 years for the citizenship. It's an investment that is guaranteed to pay off.
Yeah.
Just a question of when.
They all remember who brought them in and who left them here.
Exactly.
Exactly. I want to go back. I want to talk about Biden.
This is a big deal. Like I think a lot of people don't quite appreciate that this was an.
Oligarchs do not deserve benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, fuck them.
Actual, real scam at scale to tilt the scales of democracy in America.
It's treasonous.
Treason.
Yeah. One more Biden question. I remember when they would do the electric car stuff, they would always try to box you out, even though you have the only electric car anybody wants.
Yeah.
You said, I think this week, that you think that Biden left these astronauts up in space because he didn't want to give you an opportunity to save them, make NASA look bad, make the private sector look better, make you look good. You believe that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, of course.
I kind of agree. Why would he want to let you help them come down when you're supporting the president?
I mean, the Biden administration was attacking me next level.
Yeah.
The Department of Justice, or Injustice under the Biden administration, was.
Yeah.
They were suing SpaceX. They're suing SpaceX for not hiring asylum seekers, and we're like, but it's actually illegal for us to hire asylum seekers because rocket technology is covered under ITAR rules, which means it's an advanced weapons technology.
Yeah.
And so we can only hire.
SpaceX sued, didn't hire asylum seekers. Here we go. Department of Justice. Justice Department sues SpaceX for discriminating against asylees and refugees in hiring. The Justice Department filed a lawsuit against space exploration technology company SpaceX for discriminating against asylees and refugees in hiring. The lawsuit alleges that from September 2018 to May 2022, SpaceX routinely discouraged asylees and refugees from applying and refused to hire or consider them because of their citizenship status in violation of the Immigration and Nationality Act. In job postings and public statements over several years, SpaceX wrongly claimed that under federal regulations known as export control laws, SpaceX could only hire U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents, sometimes referred to as green card holders. Export control laws impose no such hiring restrictions. Moreover, asylees and refugees' permission to live and work in the United States does not expire, and they stand on equal footing with U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents under export control laws. Under these laws, companies like SpaceX can hire asylees and refugees for the same positions they would hire U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents. And once hired, asylees and refugees can access export-controlled information and materials without additional government approval, just like U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents. Our investigation found that SpaceX failed to fairly consider or hire asylees and refugees because of their citizenship status and imposed what amounted to a ban on their hire regardless of their qualification in violation of federal law, said Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clark of the Department of Justice Department's Civil Rights Division. Our investigation also found that SpaceX recruiters and high-level officials took actions that actively discouraged asylees and refugees from seeking work opportunities at the company. Asylees and refugees have overcome many obstacles in their lives, and unlawful employment discrimination based on their citizenship status should not be one of them. So is he talking about? Is he? Are these people who are like here legally? Yeah, if they're asylees and refugees, like they're there legally. Kind of with legal employment practices, seek relief that allows asylees and refugees to fairly compete for job opportunities and contribute to their talents to SpaceX workforce. The department's lawsuit alleges that SpaceX discriminated against asylees and refugees based on citizenship status at multiple stages of the hiring process. I don't know. Yeah, but like if he's breaking a law, that's totally reasonable. Why would you? I don't understand why he's discouraging them from joining. No, I know they're not citizens, but they're permanent residents. Yeah. Does anyone know? As long as there's people with $100,000, can anyone expand on this for me? No, I know. Permanent resident and citizen are not the same. SpaceX only hired U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents. SpaceX recruits and hires for a variety of positions, including welders, cooks, crane operators, baristas, and dishwashers, as well as information technology specialists, software engineers, business analysts, rocket engineers, and marketing professionals. The jobs at issue in the lawsuit are not limited to those that require advanced degrees. Oh, fuck, interesting. Oh, so it extends to, like, janitors and shit, too? Asylees and refugees are migrants to the United States who have fled persecution to obtain their status. They undergo thorough vetting by the United States government under the INA. Under the INA, employers cannot discriminate against them in hiring unless a law, regulation, executive order, or government contract requires the employer to do so. In this instance, no law, regulation, executive order, or government contract required or permitted SpaceX to engage in the widespread discrimination against asylees or refugees that the department's investigation found, as explained in the complaint. Because SpaceX works with certain goods, software, technology, and technical data referred to here as export-controlled items, SpaceX must comply with export control laws and regulations, including the International Traffic in Arms Regulations and the Export Administration Regulations. Under these regulations, asylees, refugees, lawful permanent residents, U.S. citizens, and U.S. nationals working at U.S. companies can access export-controlled items without any authorization from the U.S. government. Therefore, these laws do not require SpaceX to treat asylees and refugees differently than U.S. citizens or green card holders. The United States... This seems like pretty... this doesn't seem like that big of a deal, though. It seems like weird phrasing. If you are a legal refugee, claimant, or asylum seeker in America, you can seek employment. Musk is just lying with mega talking points so it amplifies with the cult. Yeah, this just seems like not that big of an issue. I mean, it seems like a big issue if he's like breaking the law by not allowing these people to work there. But is that again? It's like a semantic issue, right? It's like the language issue. It's the same thing by going into and being obsessed with like woke language. Like it just has the word asylee and refugee. So people are like, oh, this is bad, but it just seems like he's breaking the law pretty outright. Am I crazy? Am I crazy here? I don't know. I'm not a fucking legal expert, man. I'm not a legal expert here. Anyway, look. I don't want to finish this, to be honest, man. I'm pretty sick of Elon. We'll go into more maybe on the next stream we'll go into more Elon stuff. This is just pretty. I don't know. It's just such a. I want to see the end. I want to see the end.
I gave you a tough one at the end.
The side of good. You want to just elaborating on something, which is, I grew up in South Africa, but my morality was informed by America. I read comic books, played Dungeons and Dragons, and I watched American TV shows, and it seemed like America cared about being the good guys, about doing the right thing. And that's actually pretty unusual, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like
In the world, it's very unusual.
It's not like actually.
Most countries don't do that.
No, they don't.
No.
And so I was.
Yeah, the great example of Elon being informed by America's hegemonic power. America being the cultural leader of the world, which is a good thing, which they are trying to fucking undo.
Like, yeah, you want to be this good. You want to be on the side of good. You want to care about what's right, and yeah. So that's
Yeah.
what I believe in.
Oh my god, he's the fucking worst speaker.
So.
I just want to see him walk around again.
That's great. That's great. Elon Musk.
All right,
you're the
thank
man.
you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. Hey, guys.
Get the chainsaw, Elon. Grab the chainsaw. Grab the fucking crypto rug pull chainsaw. Again, this is a 50-year-old man, the richest man in the world, holding a chainsaw that the fucking meme president of Argentina gifted him. And wearing a shirt that says, "I'm not procrastinating, I'm doing side quests." There we go. This is one of the most powerful men in the world. Probably one of those powerful men to ever exist in American history. Right here.
Sure. Thank you.
Dark Gothic Mega becoming the meme. Hey man, I can't fuck it.